The human mind is like an immense energetic field where every thought you plant grows and transforms into reality. Everything around you, your achievements, challenges, and even the opportunities that arise, is a direct reflection of what you deeply believe. Jacobo Grinberg revealed that perception is not merely a reflection of reality, but the very force that constructs it. Neville Goddard reinforced this truth by stating that what you repeat with conviction and feeling becomes inevitable. When you align your mind and emotions with a desired truth, the universe has no choice but to reorganize itself to manifest it. Today, you will learn a simple yet incredibly powerful method. Repeating an affirmation 100 times to saturate your subconscious mind and open the portals to transformation. Before we continue, please declare in the comments, "Abundance is already within me, and it is now manifesting." Now, let's begin. Most people live trapped in an invisible cycle of beliefs and limitations without even realizing it. They look at their lives and wonder why the same challenges keep recurring, why their dreams seem so distant, and why, despite all their efforts, change never truly happens. But the truth is simple and profound. The external reality is nothing more than a reflection of your internal programming. From an early age, we were conditioned to believe that life is difficult, that prosperity is a privilege reserved for a few, and that change demands extreme sacrifice. These thoughts, repeated countless times over the years, become absolute truths in the subconscious. And that's precisely where the problem lies. The subconscious doesn't question, it simply accepts and manifests what has been programmed. If someone grows up hearing phrases like "money is dirty," "you have to work hard to deserve it," or "life is a struggle," their subconscious absorbs these beliefs as unquestionable truths. Even if they consciously desire prosperity, love, or happiness, their subconscious will continue to operate on the same patterns of scarcity and limitation. Consequently, their life will continue to reflect exactly those beliefs. Jacobo Grinberg studied the relationship between consciousness and reality in depth and discovered that the physical world is shaped by each individual's internal perception. If your mind is programmed for lack, that is what you will experience. If it is aligned with abundance, the universe will respond with opportunities, open pathways, and unexpected synchronicities. The problem is that the conscious mind, the rational part that yearns for change, has little control over this programming. The subconscious works like a fertile yet highly selective soil. Only what is repeatedly planted with intensity takes root. This is precisely why most people fail to change their lives. They desire something new, yet they continue to repeat the same old patterns internally. The solution is to saturate the subconscious with new information until it accepts change as an absolute truth. And the most powerful way to do that is through intentional repetition. When you repeat a phrase with sufficient feeling and conviction, it penetrates the deepest layers of your mind and begins to restructure the reality around you. Jacobo Grinberg dedicated his life to studying consciousness and the nature of reality. His research demonstrated that the mind doesn't merely interpret the world, it actively creates it. He believed that our perception is shaped by an invisible neuronal field, and that by altering this field through new mental patterns, we can literally transform our life experience. Neville Goddard explored this same principle from a spiritual perspective. He taught that the subconscious is the gateway to creating reality, and that repeating words and feelings can completely reconfigure our lives. For Goddard, it wasn't just about repetition. It was the fusion of repetition with genuine emotion that led to manifestation. Both Grinberg and Goddard arrived at the same conclusion. What you hold in your mind intensely and repeatedly becomes inevitable. The universe does not respond to superficial desire, but to vibrational certainty. When a new belief takes deep root in your subconscious, reality reorganizes itself to reflect that new truth. Now that we understand this foundation, let's dive into the practical method that can transform your life through conscious repetition. The human mind is a programmable system. Everything we think repeatedly becomes a command accepted by our subconscious, shaping our perception and, consequently, our reality. This happens because the brain learns through repetition. Just as a muscle strengthens with constant exercise, neural connections are reinforced every time a thought or belief is repeated. Jacobo Grinberg argued that external reality is merely a manifestation of our internal neuronal field. This means that to change your life experience, you must first change what is programmed in your mind. But this change doesn't occur instantly. Just as a plant does not grow on the same day a seed is planted, a belief only becomes dominant when it is continuously nourished through repetition. Neville Goddard complemented this idea by stating that the subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It simply accepts whatever it consistently receives. In other words, by repeating an affirmation 100 times, you are inserting a new truth into your internal system and forcing your mind to accept it as fact. Repetition works like a hammer that, strike after strike, breaks down the barriers of mental resistance. In the beginning, the conscious mind may doubt, reject, or question, but as the words are repeated, they start to penetrate the deepest layers of the mind, where true transformation occurs. Repetition alone holds power, but when combined with emotion, it becomes an even more profound tool for transformation. The subconscious doesn't respond merely to mechanical words. It is activated by the feelings behind them. If an affirmation is repeated without emotion, it remains superficial. However, when it is spoken with conviction and genuine feeling, it becomes an unquestionable internal truth. Neville Goddard emphasized that the feeling of the fulfilled desire is the key to shaping reality. He taught that it is not enough to simply repeat phrases like, "I am prosperous." You must feel prosperity as an absolute truth, as if you were already living that reality. When you internally experience the emotion of what you desire, your subconscious accepts this new vibration as a completed fact, and the universe responds by reorganizing itself to reflect that frequency. Jacobo Grinberg reinforced this idea by stating that consciousness is an interconnected vibrational field. This means that what you feel generates energetic waves that interact with the structure of reality. If you feel doubt or fear while repeating an affirmation, you send confusing signals to the field of existence. But if you feel certainty, gratitude, and enthusiasm, the energy aligns to materialize that experience. Therefore, when practicing the technique of 100 repetitions, don't just recite mechanically. Close your eyes, visualize the affirmation becoming real, and feel the emotion of that truth manifesting in your life. What transforms you is not just the words, but the fusion of word and feeling. The subconscious mind operates as a silent guardian of our reality. Everything deeply rooted within it manifests in the physical world, be it positive or negative. However, this programming can be altered through intense, focused repetition. The technique of 100 repetitions acts as a mechanism of mental saturation, forcing the mind to accept a new truth. The brain has something called the reticular activating system, RAS, which is responsible for filtering information and highlighting what it deems relevant. If your mind is programmed for scarcity, the RAS will keep your focus on difficulties and obstacles. But when you repeat an affirmation 100 times, you are giving your brain a clear command. This is important. Over time, the RAS begins to filter and spotlight opportunities that once went unnoticed. The great secret of this technique is breaking through mental resistance. In the initial repetitions, the conscious mind may react with disbelief, thinking, "This isn't real." However, As the phrase is repeated continuously, the logical process begins to yield and the subconscious takes over. That is the precise moment when the new belief starts to settle in. To apply the technique correctly, follow these steps. Choose a powerful affirmation, such as "Abundance is already within me, and it is now manifesting." Enter a relaxed state before you begin by taking deep breaths. Repeat the affirmation 100 times without interruption, focusing on both the words and the feelings behind them. Feel the truth of the affirmation becoming real as you repeat it. After completing the repetitions, remain silent for a few moments to allow the new programming to set. The subconscious mind does not change easily. It functions like a closed system, repeating patterns that have been installed over many years. If someone grew up hearing that money is hard to earn, that success is reserved for a select few, or that life is a struggle, they will carry those beliefs as absolute truths. Even if they consciously desire prosperity and happiness, their subconscious will continue to manifest the scarcity and challenges it recognizes as reality. To break this cycle, a process of mental saturation is necessary, one in which the mind is bombarded with a new belief until it replaces the old ones. This is because the subconscious learns through intense repetition. Just as a muscle strengthens with constant exercise, the neural connections associated with a new belief become stronger with each repetition. Jacobo Grinberg stated that external reality is only a reflection of the internal neuronal field. This means that to change your life experience, you must first change what is programmed in your mind. However, this change does not happen instantly. Just as a plant does not sprout on the same day a seed is planted, a belief only becomes dominant when it receives continuous nourishment through repetition. Neville Goddard also taught this principle. For him, persistent repetition was the key to convincing the subconscious that something was already real. Doubt only exists as long as limiting beliefs still have space in the mind. But when a new affirmation is repeated without resistance, it becomes the sole truth that is accepted. The brain's reticular activating system, RAS, filters information and highlights what it considers important. If your mind is programmed for scarcity, the RAS will maintain your focus on difficulties and obstacles. However, when you saturate your mind with new affirmations, this system begins to reprogram your perception, bringing to light opportunities that were once overlooked. With continuous practice, your subconscious will have no choice but to accept this new programming. Repetition creates conviction. Conviction generates vibration, and vibration in turn creates reality. Now that we understand how mental saturation changes beliefs, let's explore the importance of maintaining this practice for at least 7 consecutive nights to solidify the transformation. The human mind resists change. Even when we desire something new, there is an inner force that tries to keep us in our comfort zone, even if that comfort zone is filled with scarcity, fear, and limitations. This is why a single repetition or one day of practice is not enough to reprogram the subconscious. The power of transformation lies in persistence. For a belief to become dominant, it must be repeated until the subconscious accepts it as an absolute truth. Research on neuroplasticity shows that the brain needs time and repetition to form new neural connections. Just as a path in a forest only becomes visible after it is trodden on several times, a new mental pattern only takes hold when it is reinforced day after day. Jacobo Grinberg maintained that the mind functions as a vibrational field where thought patterns construct the reality around us. If you feed that field with thoughts of doubt and fear, it will continue attracting circumstances that reinforce that frequency. But if you sustain a new belief long enough, it becomes the foundation upon which your new reality is built. Neville Goddard taught that a belief only takes root when it becomes a natural state of being. That is why repetition should be practiced for at least 7 consecutive nights. This period acts as an initial reprogramming cycle, during which mental barriers begin to dissolve and the subconscious starts accepting the new truth. The secret lies in consistency. If you repeat an affirmation 100 times today but skip it tomorrow, your mind may revert to its old patterns. But if you do it every night, your new belief will gradually replace the old programming. After 7 days, something powerful happens. Doubt loses its grip and conviction takes hold. To enhance this process, follow this method. Choose a quiet moment before bedtime. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and relax. Repeat your chosen affirmation 100 times, feeling it as an absolute truth. Visualize the new reality as already manifested and fall asleep with that feeling. After 7 nights, you will begin to notice subtle changes. Your perception will shift, new opportunities will arise, and your reality will start reflecting your new internal programming. A common mistake that prevents many people from manifesting what they desire is an obsession with the result. They practice repetition, visualization, and affirmations, but instead of letting the transformation occur naturally, they constantly monitor whether something has changed. This behavior creates anxiety and, paradoxically, blocks manifestation. Both Jacobo Grinberg and Neville Goddard asserted that reality is shaped by consciousness, but that being attached to the how and when of things happening creates energetic resistance. When you doubt, worry, or become impatient, you send contradictory signals to both your subconscious and the universe. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. He prepares the soil, waters them, and cares for them, but he knows there is no need to dig up the ground every day to check if the roots are growing. He trusts the process. The same applies to mental reprogramming. You plant the new belief through repetition, but you must allow it to grow without interference. The anxiety of expecting immediate results stems from a belief in scarcity and fear. It is the subconscious trying to maintain control based on the old pattern of doubt. But when you truly let go and trust, you demonstrate that you have already accepted the new reality as truth. And it is precisely that certainty that accelerates manifestation. Neville Goddard used to say, "The feeling of the fulfilled desire is the secret." This means that instead of waiting for an external sign to believe, you must first believe internally, and then the external reality will adjust accordingly. To facilitate this process, try the following. After repeating the 100 affirmations, take a deep breath and feel a sense of peace. Mentally affirm, "What I declared is already real. I let go and allow it to manifest." Avoid obsessing over immediate changes. Trust that they are unfolding at the perfect time. Whenever you feel anxious, repeat, "Everything is aligning for my benefit." When you change the way you think and feel, the world around you inevitably transforms. Reality is not fixed or immutable. It is a reflection of the internal structure of your consciousness. Jacobo Grinberg explained that our perception does not merely interpret the world, it literally constructs it. What you deeply believe manifests as your experience because your mind filters reality based on its internal programming. Neville Goddard reinforced this idea by explaining that the mental state you assume as true becomes the foundation upon which the physical world organizes itself. He taught that by repeating and feeling a new truth as real, your consciousness sends an energetic command to the universe, prompting it to adjust and reflect that new configuration. The technique of 100 repetitions is a powerful tool because it forces the mind to absorb a new programming. Each repetition is like a brick laid in the construction of a new reality. At first, it may seem like mere words, but as mental saturation occurs, your perception changes. Small signs begin to emerge, new opportunities, subtle changes in behavior, a sharper intuition. These are indications that the new belief is taking root and beginning to reflect in the external world. However, For this reconfiguration to be complete, it is essential to maintain an aligned vibrational state. This means you must avoid contradictory thoughts. If you affirm, "Abundance is already within me," but spend your day worrying about lack, you sabotage the process. Act in accordance with the new belief. If you believe you already live in abundance, make decisions that align with that reality, without fear or hesitation. Pay attention to the signs. Small changes in your surroundings are proof that your vibration is altering the field of reality. When your consciousness is reconfigured, reality has no choice but to adapt. Everything begins within you, and the external world simply reflects that change. Mental reprogramming does not occur solely on a rational level. It must be felt at the deepest level of your being. The stronger your emotional connection to the new belief, the faster it will be absorbed by your subconscious and reflected in your reality. To strengthen this connection, practice these daily strategies. Active visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the new reality as if it were already happening. Feel the emotion of achievement. See the details, listen to the sounds, and experience the joy. The more vivid the image, the stronger the impact on your subconscious. Anticipatory gratitude. Being grateful for what has not yet happened is one of the most powerful ways to accelerate manifestation. Gratitude sends a clear signal to the universe that you have already accepted this new reality as truth. Say, "I am immensely grateful because my life is filled with abundance and opportunities." Conscious breathing technique. Before starting your 100 repetitions, take a deep breath, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly. This calms your mind, reduces resistance, and increases your subconscious's receptivity. Posture and body language. Your body also communicates with your subconscious. Maintain an upright posture, breathe confidently, and speak your affirmations with energy and conviction. When your body exudes confidence, your mind follows suit. Now that you understand the power of repetition, emotion, and the connection between mind and reality, it's time for the most important step: applying this knowledge to your life. Simply hearing and understanding isn't enough. The real transformation happens when you take action. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, every night before you sleep, repeat 100 times the affirmation: "Abundance is already within me, and it is now manifesting." But remember, do not recite it mechanically. Feel every word, visualize this truth as if it were already happening, and fully commit to the process with confidence. To reinforce this experience, write in the comments, "I choose to reprogram my mind for abundance." This is not just a symbolic gesture, it's a commitment to your transformation. If you feel that this message should reach more people, share this knowledge. Together, we can raise collective consciousness and create a world where everyone can manifest their true essence. The change has already begun. Now, move forward and allow your new reality to manifest.